It's January 6th, 2022. I am keeping an eye on the news this morning. Last year I watched, I believe, on this day, either CBS or Channel 7 today. I caught, I was up early, I caught a version of Channel 4, which is NBC. I really don't know the difference between CBS or NBC. I don't know what Fox is in what hen house. So when the real Madrid guy who flew that flag in his residence came here, he had accommodations on his Air Force file, allegedly. I didn't see them. Face value being whatever it is, with Bill Clinton. Or he flew in Bill Clinton's whatever. He told me that in the Latin area, they celebrate something called Three Kings. I had no idea what that meant. So I just took it as a FYI for your information. And so I was like, all right, never heard about it again. Turns out today is January 6th, and this thought of this Three Kings, they're now mentioning it. Now, interestingly enough, Channel 7, same time the broadcast, didn't even mention it for Eyewitness News. But there's a parade going on in Manhattan, and I'm watching who's attending. And, like, this is not a European American whatever. And again, semi-Shiloh on this one, because there is a technicality of New England, and there is this broadcast of the acknowledgement of King Charles and Queen Elizabeth preceding to him. But I have no idea what this Latin Three King that don't even look like the one from the European side of the water. So this gets confusing. But this is what was on this morning. And then there's something called a National Justice League, NAN, N-A-N. They had some black summit with New York City and New York State, which they're alerting with Al Sharpton and Mayor Adams. And I'm like, what is going on? Then it says the nurses are striking and the representative for the Nurses Association again. And then I caught something called My Three Sons and Polly. Now, I know Polly wants a cracker. That's something that the folklore people, like the Three Little Pigs, the Brick House, all of these, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, we all know in this Mother Goose nursery how polygamy and arithmetic wanted and expected the three sons to look like Polly in My Three Sons, which was put out by Benjamin and one of the studios. Maybe it wasn't Benjamin, but Benjamin was with Warner Brothers. I just found out the other day. So again, that's a family name, familial name for me, being the right hand.
Now, it's going to be a welcome sight today in East Harlem when the annual Three Kings Day Parade makes its return. The parade.
Now, I don't know what Three Kings these represent, but they're celebrating it. I don't know how.
Parade had gone virtual for the last 2 years because of the pandemic, but today, once again in person, you'll see the dancers, the puppets, and the...
Now, here's the thing. I have integrity and symmetry between myself and Alexander. Cosmic Mother, Cosmic Nursery. And then this is asymmetrical. I don't know whose language I need to speak. I speak English.
And the live animals marching through the streets. It all starts at 11 a.m., 106th and Park Avenue. Three Kings Day marks the day Christians believe the baby Jesus was visited and given gifts by the three wise men. And today in Paterson, New Jersey, there'll be a gift.
Now, I go on this channel 4 to see who's running the city, and there's this National Action Network. It says House of Justice, NAN. And here are Attorney General, here's some activist, here's the mayor. Did something happen in the world that I need to know as a concerned citizen of New York or the city or Long Island?
It is 5:43 now, and in Harlem, the Reverend Al Sharpton convened a summit of black city and state leaders with the issue of public safety as the top priority. Meeting included Mayor Adams.
They haven't even defined for me, and I went to the schools here, what a summit is. When does somebody hold a summit? What does that even mean? I just had a Canadian answer me on Facebook, on YouTube. He's like, I'm from Canada and I know your government better than you. I go, that is such privilege of living in Providence, isn't it? I mean, I'm here and it is, I mean, my civics is under attack, it would appear. And information is being withheld from my person. He's like, you should have paid better attention in school. Except they weren't teaching it in school. They weren't building context. They weren't building conjecture. They weren't giving intelligence. They weren't building it in a way that one could even fully understand or grasp the subject. And then it just disappeared.
Attorney General Letitia James and State Senator Andrea Stewart Cousins. Summit was held behind closed doors, but after each spoke to reporters about the historic nature of this meeting.
And we understand the plight of all ethnic groups in the city and state, and we are uplifting all groups. But we're clear on the systemic poverty, the systemic racism that has been in place that denied people the opportunities to leave poverty. That's what this conversation was about today.
This is not a Black or Latino issue. This is an issue that affects all New Yorkers, and that we stand here together representing the interest of all New Yorkers.
Now, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, he was not at that meeting in person. Officials say he did give remarks virtually as he is currently fighting COVID. It's 5:44 now.
Now let's take a look at the healthcare system and what's representing the Nurses Association.
If no deal is reached, upwards of 10,000 nurses could walk off the job starting Monday. Now here at Mount Sinai, the hospital confirms babies in the NICU will be moved to other hospitals just in case a deal isn't reached to avoid the nurses' strike. The reason is they have to ensure the fragile newborns can receive the care they need. Governor Kathy Hochul is also involved now, urging both sides to come to a deal. As patients grow concerned the closer we get to a strike, the nurses union is standing firm.
They should just get their money. They deserve it. Every cent, every dollar.
I just went for surgery, so they were follow-ups. And when we go see him, another nurse.
NISNA will we send a strike notice when we reach a tentative agreement at Mount Sinai that respect nurses and our patients, not before.
Now, we have been on top of the story since we first learned about the potential strike, and will continue to follow any and all latest developments and bring them to you both on air and online. For now, we are live at Mount Sinai on the Upper East Side. Romney.
Now, here's Channel 7, just to bring in another reporter about the Channel 4 news, because I don't know how correspondents work.
And Santos refuses to step down despite the fact that he's now under criminal investigation. In fact, federal prosecutors looking into his campaign finances and how he raised so much money, $700,000.
Why is this important? Well, it's where he is in front of. This is something called Kimchi Plaza in Douglaston, which he also references. Now, my three sons, Polly's secret life is it's season 12, episode 11. So S12E11. In grand architecture and structure.
For an early morning brawl. Come on in.
Well, I've got a teenage problem I thought you could help me iron out.
Oh, sure. Hey, you guys, I have a great game for you. Why we all go to closet? March.
Now look, 3 sons. 1, 2, 3. That's what they painted in polygamy in this area prior to my arrival. And it's called Me TV. I have to get out of here. I have an engagement to go to. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxies, Broken. And today is Friday, January 6, 2023.